I told you that last week. We could have had this discussion earlier. I'm going to admit it. When I tell you, I told you last week. Look, we've been taking up 15 minutes in this. You said, and I told you last week, because Ms. Hilton said she's going to take out the 12 minutes. We're going to take them out.
Your Honor, given what was said on cross, and given that I did provide this to the defense, I sent them the copy with Mr. Chada's name redacted.
But you changed materially what I told you from last week. You're telling me something that you think is relevant at this point in time. I'm excluding it. That's it.
Your Honor, we're only asking that the court allow us to put it in because it does impact how the jury should consider what Mr. Murphy's testimony is today when compared to what he told the detectives in that hearing. He was made promises, and on cross he was asked about what he was promised. He was asked about the jail. He was asked about a lot of things on cross that at this point would make very relevant and very material the portion of the video that he is told the terms of his proffer agreement, Your Honor. That is the reason we are begging the court, because this whole endeavor is a search for the truth, that the jury be allowed to see what Mr. Murphy was aware of before he made the statements that he made because of what he said on cross-examination, which is different than what he said in the proffer. Had Mr. Murphy agreed to meet with us like he did?
Mr. Sharp? I believe that changes the equation, though, between what you and Mr. Steele have asked already in terms of that.
Your Honor, it didn't change the equation. Respectfully, it didn't change the equation at all. The concern with the first 12 minutes with Mr. Chada Jimenez, the jurors have heard Mr. Chada Jimenez's voice.
But you opened the door as to it.
We didn't, respectfully, Your Honor, we didn't open the door. We cross-examined the witness, and quite frankly, I didn't open any doors. I opened windows and brought in light to this courthouse and actually took the time to allow the witness to review his statement and then was able to have a normal, competent discussion with what happened. Now, Your Honor, I'll also point out, while we're talking about what the state didn't do, they also were ordered to take out the state comments by Mr. Hudson in the proffer, which are extremely prejudicial against the defendants, including Mr. Williams, and they didn't omit that either. So, we have to double and triple check to make sure the judge's order, Your Honor's orders, are followed, and that's quite frankly not the best use of our time, and it's not fair to us.
Your Honor, that's not true. What Mr. Sharp asked for at letter L was that Mr. Chada, in this portion of the statement, if this portion is a statement, will have assumed a dual role in this case, serving as prosecutor and defense attorney. He was previously introduced to this jury. The contents can be elicited without revealing the identity of the assistant district attorney who was conducting the proffer.
But we said we would take out the first 12
No,
minutes.
I am. I'm just pointing out that what Mr. Sharp has said regarding not opening the door is insincere. He had just said something about if Mr. Murphy had testified consistently and Mr. Sharp had not elicited testimony, essentially that Mr. Murphy just wanted to get back and to his family, and he would have cut off his arm. He would have done anything that he could. And if the statements that he gave to Mr. Steele were not inconsistent, and the statements that he gave to Mr. Sharp were not inconsistent with what he said in the proffer agreement, we would be in a different place. But the problem is that Mr. Murphy has agreed to speak with counsel for Mr. Steele and refused to speak with counsel for the state so that we can go over anything with him. So this notion that we were trying to hide it is false from Mr. Murphy. He refused to speak with us further until he got on the stand. He said, you can talk to me when I get on the stand. And so that's what we had to do. And the information that was given and elicited while he was on the stand makes necessary that first portion of this proffer where the terms of the proffer are laid out. And so at that point, it allows the jury to adequately and properly weigh the difference in the two statements and why there would be a difference in the two statements.
Who's giving the terms of the proffer?
That is Mr. Chada Jimenez. His voice is heard not just in the first 12 minutes, his voice is heard throughout the proffer. And there was never
Still a problem. It really is.
there was never
No, because here's the thing. You all chose to put this case together with Mr. Chada Jimenez in that particular tape. I think you got problems with it. You're going to have to live with it. So I'm going to exclude it.
If I may, Your
I'm
Honor.
going to exclude it. That's my ruling.
Your Honor.
I've excluded it. That's my ruling. You've got some ethical and other issues bringing that. Even though you may have some issues with Mr. Murphy, I understand that, but this is not what you're going to be able to present in front of this jury.
Your Honor, the state had the privilege as it related to Mr. Chada and him.
Are you going to keep arguing with me or what? I ruled. We're not going to cover the first 12 minutes. I told that to Ms. Hilton. She said she was going to agree to that. Yeah, you can still ask him questions. Do you have a transcript of the proffer?
Yes.
Then use that.
That was what I was asking.
Use that. I don't have any issue with that. I told you that.
Okay, we'll go past that. Thank you. And Your Honor, as it relates to Mr. Sharp's comments to the court about what Mr. Hudson said, actually, Judge, that was as it related to the August interview. There was never anything in this motion.
You're not making Mr. Hudson's statements Because I think we're supposed to exclude those as well.
No, you only said exclude the ones in the August statement where they left the room and only Mr. Hudson and Mr. Murphy were in there.
Yes. Okay.
So, no.
All right.